You're gonna be arrested for reckless driving.
Arrested?
That's the next step, is for you to hand me the key. You could be charged with. Understand?
No, but what's their reason?
Hey, why don't you call help for him instead of yelling at the person with the camera?
No, but I know before that.
Jack D might be closer to real trouble than anyone expected. This isn't just another live stream stunt or harmless internet drama. It's about how he acted around police on camera, the way he turned officers into content, and the leaked clips that resurfaced around his agency and relationships. New footage shows him mocking and baiting authorities for views, while other clips tied to his OnlyFans operation and McKinley Richardson have the internet pushing a harsher label and asking if these patterns point to something way more serious than bans or demonetization. Add in the Island Boys chaos during an active arrest, the traffic stop where he played it off after being clocked at reckless speeds, and a growing pile of moments where warnings were ignored, and you start to see why people are asking if this ends with fines or a courtroom. We'll walk through exactly how it escalated in order and why each moment turned up the pressure, but it starts with how he treated the police live and for clicks. It starts with the footage he chose to post himself. Jack didn't just catch a random encounter on camera. He leaned into it, mocking officers, talking over them, and turning the uniform into a backdrop for engagement. He pushed the line from documenting to performing, using authority figures as props while the chat cheered and the numbers climbed. The goal wasn't context or clarity, it was attention, and he made sure those moments lived on his pages, packaged for replay value and monetized reactions. That decision ripped through his reputation faster than any apology could fix. Viewers who once laughed along started to ask why every serious situation becomes a bit. People called it reckless, not rebellious, disrespect packaged as entertainment. The more clips appeared, the harder it became to argue nuance or misunderstanding. You can hear bystanders in some moments telling them to stop filming, to respect the process, to quit escalating, and it doesn't matter. Jack keeps the lens tight, the tone smug, and the tension high because that's the currency. What makes it worse is how clearly calculated it feels. This wasn't a one-off lapse. It looked like a content loop: record, ridicule, upload, profit. The attitude sells itself, pushing buttons, daring a reaction, crowding scenes where officers are already under pressure. And once you frame the police as antagonists in your show, anything that follows reads like fuel for the next episode. That's why the backlash isn't just moral outrage. It's a practical fear that someone's going to get hurt while the camera hunts for a punchline.
Fighting, look. Yeah. What the f? They're fighting. The cops are right there.
There's a fight. Watch out. Oh my God, what's... He's resisting. Don't record this. Don't record it. No, I ain't trying to... Hey, listen.
Stop.
And then the chaos grows, because the moment the Island Boys step into the frame during an active arrest, the line between filming and interference gets even harder to ignore. The scene gets louder when the Island Boys show up as an arrest unfolds right in front of them. Security is telling them to back off. Bystanders are pleading, "Don't record this, none of it mattered." The phone stays up, the commentary keeps running. They treat a tense situation like a live chat prompt, floating closer while officers are trying to control someone who's resisting. You can hear the clash in the audio, warnings layered over jokes, rules drowned out by reactions, the moment reduced to content. That's the problem here. It stops being documentation and turns into disruption. Recording from a distance is one thing. Orbiting the scene, talking over commands, and stirring a crowd is another. In the clips, they question officers as the arrest happened.
No reason.
No, but what's their reason?
Hey, why don't you call help for him instead of yelling at the person with the camera?
No, but I know before that, why they showed up.
Why don't you just call help instead of yelling at us?
Oh.
There you go.
No, you can't be on screen with this.
Bro, look at her Jeep. As if everyone's not filming. Look, everyone's filming.
Hold on.
Hey, you gotta. Hey, please.
Yo, what's
They're just yelling at you for filming.
No.
We're in a public area, ma'am. We are in a public area.
Listen.
What is going on with her?
Why are you hiding?
What is going on with her?
Help for the guy. Look, the guy's right there.
What's going on with her? Yo, ma'am.
They point the camera at security. They argue that everyone's filming as if volume makes it harmless. It doesn't. It ramps up risk. It also exposes motive, not clarity, not accountability, just views. Jack doesn't play the de-escalator. He mirrors the energy. He laughs. He moves with the phone. He treats don't record like a dare, not a boundary. And when security physically intervenes, the audience gets what they came for. Chaos with a face and a thumbnail. It's the easiest way to manufacture a spike. Insert yourself into a serious moment and call it content. The fallout writes itself. People who were on the fence now see a pattern. Find a hot scene, poke it, film the reaction. Even if no one intends to interfere, that's what it looks like. And online perception becomes real-world pressure. If authorities decide to take these clips at face value, it stops being internet drama and starts looking like potential obstruction, or at the very least, reckless endangerment of everyone in the immediate area. And it still doesn't stop, because even after the warnings, the filming moves closer, the tone gets bolder, and the next set of clips make the line crossing feel deliberate. What follows makes it clear this isn't a misunderstanding, it's a pattern. Even with people around them asking to stop, even with security repeating the same warning, Jack keeps the camera up and the commentary running.
Imagine not.
Don't roll into my motorcycle.
Sorry.
I have the key.
It's not coming out.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
I'm trying.
That's the next step is for you to hand me the key.
I'm trying.
We'll go from there.
That was bad. There we go.
And see all your information. Registration for the car and proof insurance?
I'm renting this car.
Renting it?
Yeah. May I ask why I'm getting pulled over?
You really have to ask that? You have no idea. Reckless driving?
What was the speed?
What was it?
Yeah.
Where? Which one? Which
Like,
street?
like what speed was I
Well,
going?
the speed limit on Sunset's 35. How fast do you think you were going?
I don't know. Maybe like 50. Yeah, I don't know.
85.
I don't think I went 85. I don't think so.
I do.
Alright, well, I don't know. I'm sorry.
85 into 35? That's why I mentioned reckless driving. So why are you going 85 into 35?
I didn't know I was going 85 and 35.
It's okay to be honest and say, you know what, yeah, I screwed up. Sorry, it's a cool car. I just rented it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, I'm excited. I'm just like, I don't know, I shouldn't have gone that fast, but...
He moves closer, talks louder, and treats the officers like unwilling cast members. The scene isn't about what's happening anymore. It's about capturing a reaction and milking it for replay value. That's why viewers started calling it arrogant in real time. The refusal to back off reads like a challenge, not curiosity. You can hear the tension build in the background, commands from officers, concern from bystanders, and over it all, the stream chatter tone that turns a serious moment into a bit, laughing while an arrest plays out inches away, questioning decisions in the heat of it, acting like public area is a free pass to provoke. Whether he intended it or not, the effect is the same. It adds noise to a scene that already needs calm. That's where the potential consequences stack up. It's not just about filming, it's about the perception of interference and the ripple effect it can have on everyone nearby.
I understand, but like, I'm just,
Right? I
yeah.
haven't taken it there yet.
I understand that, but...
So I'm actually helping you out quite a bit.
Thank you, I know,
So
but like...
he can call him after all this is done. You can tell him, hey, this is the situation, this is where the car is. And he can go to the station, he can present paperwork that he's the registered owner and try and get it released. That's where we are. We're not changing any of that.
There's no way you can just come pick
No.
it up.
Absolutely not.
So it's just to save him.
Yeah, no, that's the decision you made today,
Yeah.
and there's consequences for that decision.
I understand
So
that, but...
you can tell him where the car is. We'll give you that information, and you can tell him he could go there to get the release.
Alright, so what do you think will come out of this?
I honestly don't know. That's up to the court. It's not up to me.
You know the Island Boys?
Never heard of them.
He kisses them on OnlyFans.
Alright, we don't have to say I kissed them. That has nothing to do with this.
I'm gonna print you out your copy of the site. You guys will be free to go, and the cars come with me.
You're driving it?
Yeah, you're driving?
No, the tow truck driver's gonna drive.
You're gonna drive it?
It's gonna be impounded.
Does he have insurance?
Probably. I pull over cars like this all the time. I see a lot nicer cars than this one, and they drive those, so I'm not worried about it.
They don't like tow it on the thing?
They could. It's up to them.
Put miles on it?
When they get here, it's their car. They can drive it, or they can.
They're like, it's a Porsche. I need to take it for a spin,
What
right?
if they speed in it?
It's amazing how much you guys think this is a big joke.
Oh, we're not trying to make it a joke.
When you treat real enforcement as a backdrop, the stakes go up for officers, suspects, and anyone caught in the crowd. And the clips show exactly that. Warnings ignored, boundaries tested, security stepping in, because the line has already been crossed on camera. By this point, the audience isn't debating the ethics of public recording. They're asking why every line becomes a dare. The tone stays dismissive, the distance gets smaller, and the content loop continues. Push, record, upload, repeat. If authorities choose to view this as more than bad manners,
It's like I have to carry you through life, and it's like you're my girlfriend. I have things I have to do every day. So you're supposed to help me through it. You used to be so helpful with it. You used to make your own videos all day long, and I was able to do my own thing, help everyone else with their stuff. I have to just help me and you now.
fallout won't look like a community strike. It'll look like paperwork, court dates, and real accountability. And yet, when the flashing lights focus on him during a traffic stop, the attitude doesn't change. It just shifts into a different kind of denial. When the stop finally lands on him, Jack treats it like another segment. He keeps the camera close, cracks light jokes, and asks why he's being pulled over, as if the reason isn't obvious. The officer spells it out. Reckless driving, clocked at 85 in a 35. Jack hedges, guessing maybe 50, then shrugs into a soft soft "I'm sorry" like it's a harmless mix-up. It plays like he's performing innocence for the audience, not accepting what the radar says.
Why are you guys kicking the camera out of the room? Yo, time out. We're here to make up content and film this, and you kicked them out of the room? We might as well leave. We're going home then. We're going home then. Like, what the fuck's the point of being here if we can't film?
The officer stays calm and direct, walking him through what happens next, while Jack tries to keep the moment casual, as if making it content will make it smaller. Context makes it worse. Everyone remembers the McLaren crash that put his own cameraman at risk. That wasn't a rumor or a split-second misunderstanding. It was textbook recklessness. So when he's told his car is getting impounded and he pushes for exception, the tone reads as entitlement, not confusion. The officer's answer is simple. Your choices re your consequences. No shortcuts. Even the Stray Island Boys reference falls flat. Jack tosses it out. The officer says he's never heard of them and keeps moving. Business only. He explains the impound process, clarifies what Jack can do after the stop, and makes it clear there's no friend call trick to undo it. Meanwhile, Jack keeps nudging. What if they drive it? What if they put miles on it? What if they speed? The officer cuts through it. It's not a joke. The car's going, the citation's printing. The next part is up to the court, not the camera. It's the one moment where the performance hits a wall and the rules don't blink. But the clips that really flip public opinion weren't about traffic. They were about the leaked recordings tied to his agency and McKinley, and the claims of 24/7 control that followed. The impound conversation strips away the showmanship. The officer lays it out in plain language. The decision was made on the road. The rest is paperwork and process. Jack keeps probing for a shortcut. Can someone swing by now? Can the owner just pick it up? Can this be handled on the spot? The answer stays steady. Absolutely not. Present the right documents later, at the station. That's how it works. No VIP lane, no creator exception, no but the stream is watching. What stands out is the mismatch in tone. The officer is calm, measured, almost tutorial. Here's what happens next. Here's where you go. Here's what the court decides. Jack tries to keep it casual, almost playful, slipping in deflections and side comments, even tossing in a clout reference that goes nowhere. Never heard of them, the officer says, unfazed. It lands like a reality check. The internet might amplify everything, but offline rules don't care about follower counts. Jack's questions about who will drive the car, whether they'll put miles on it, whether they might even speed in it, only make the gap wider. The officer calls it what it is, not a joke. The impound isn't a bit. The citation isn't content. For once, the punchline doesn't arrive, because the system he's pushing against isn't built to banter. It's built to document, cite, and move on. And that's the part his audience notices. The performance meets a process that's immune to engagement, all of which would be bad enough on its own. But the clips that hit the hardest and turned neutral viewers into critics were the ones tied to his agency and relationships. Not cars, not traffic, control, pressure, and the claim that the camera could never stop, because when the McKinley clips resurface and the 24/7 filming claims spread, the conversation shifts from recklessness to something much darker. After McKinley spoke out, old agency clips started circulating again, Jack framing filming like a quota and treating pauses as lost money. He talks about needing constant output, measuring everything in terms of what it earns, and expecting girlfriends or contracted girls to keep the camera on around the clock. That's why people say he treats them like investments, not humans. One tense moment sums it up. We're here to make content. What's the point of being here if we can't film? When filming stops, he sees it as sabotage. That's how the Jack Epstein nickname caught on online, because the dynamic looks like control first, consent second. Whether any of this crosses a legal line depends on what can be proven, but the public verdict is already harsher. Paired with the police incidents, it paints a pattern. Push boundaries in public and behind closed doors, as long as the camera's rolling. With that picture forming, only one question remains: are the walls finally closing in, or does he slip past consequences again? Put it all together, and the pattern is hard to miss. On one side, you've got the police incidents, mocking officers on stream, filming during an active arrest, ignoring security, and treating a reckless driving stop like a bit until the impound makes it real. On the other side, the resurfaced agency clip, constant output talk, investment language, and a camera that supposedly never shuts off. Separately, they're messy. Together, they read like a blueprint: attention at any cost, boundaries as obstacle, consequences delayed until a uniform steps in. That's why the tone online shifted from gossip to accountability. Viewers aren't just asking if he broke a platform rule, they're asking when this crosses from content into conduct. The law actually cares about. If investigators decide to connect timestamps, verify locations, and stack witness statements against what's already public, this stops being a community debate and starts being a case file. Even without charges, sponsors don't wait around for verdicts. They look at risk, they see a headline spiral, and they pull the plug. And the biggest problem for Jack is that none of this relies on rumors alone. The most damaging material, traffic stop audio, arrest side filming, entitlement during the impound, those tense agency clips comes from cameras he controlled or situations he escalated. That's the trap of always-on content. The archive doesn't forget, and when people watch it in sequence, the storyline writes itself. Which leaves one last question hanging over everything. If this is the point where consequences finally land, what does that look like for him next? At this point, it's bigger than trolling or a bad look on stream. You've seen the sequence: baiting officers for views, hovering over an active arrest, brushing off a reckless stop like it's a punchline, and those agency clips that make the camera feel less like a tool and more like a leash. Alone, each moment is messy. Together, they form a pattern you can't unsee. Attention first, boundaries last, consequences postponed until someone in uniform draws the line. So, the question isn't whether the internet's mad. It's whether this finally tips into something that sticks. Court dates, real penalties, doors that don't reopen after the hype cycle moves on. Because when the footage comes from your own lens, the edit can't save you. People watched it, clipped it, and lined it up. And now the storyline tells itself. What do you think happens next? Does this end in a fine, a ban, or a booking? Drop your take below. If you want the full timeline as it unfolds, stick around for the next update and share this with someone who still thinks it's just content.